Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com. Today, I'm here with one of my favorite astrologers, Karine, who is going to lead us from Jupiter in the 12 signs. Jupiter's influence in Taurus for the next 12 months for the 12 sign. This is very personal video. I'm always very excited for Karine because she uses tropical astrology, but with a lot of ancient and Vedic techniques, and I love her for that. She's so knowledgeable. She uses a lot of Vedic techniques and ancient. Hello, Karine. I'm so excited to hear your prediction for the 12 signs for Jupiter in Taurus.
Yes, thank you, Lada, for these kind words. So Jupiter will enter Taurus on 17th or 16th of May, depending on your location in the world. And just a few days before Jupiter changes sign, Jupiter will finally start becoming visible in the sky around 12th of May, also depending on the location of your world. And I remember Jupiter has been invisible since 28th of March, like end of March. So it's been 7 weeks time that Jupiter is invisible. And when Jupiter is invisible in the sky, you don't feel the influence so much. But when it becomes visible, Jupiter's power is more intensified. And usually Jupiter brings opportunities to grow and expand. And also this is the intention for this video, for people to help you to spot the opportunities for the next 12 months in different areas of life, depending on your rising sign.
So do you advise people to look only at their ascendant rising sign, or can they check it from sun sign and moon sign? What would you say?
Also the moon sign, because in Vedic astrology, moon sign is very important. So, and also it's very good if you don't know your birth time, so you can check from your moon. And moon is the consciousness in Vedic astrology. So if you check from your moon, it actually resonates on your emotional level. And also if you're after 50 years old, because all the planets will be mature. So it's also for you to check from your moon sign is better, but not so much about sun sign, because it's not, sun is not important, but you can check and it's no harm.
Yeah, because I have a stellium in Aries and I always feel it, especially if you have quite a few planets in the same sign. And by the way, I want to say that Karine is a really good astrologer and she's offering a big discount on her readings on your career path and life mission and purpose. It's $50 off, and only till the end of June, and also on her 12 months transit, which is a recorded reading for the next 12 months. She'll cover all the transit from the Vedic perspective, but Karine uses tropical astrology, which is what ancient Vedic astrology was used with, according to ancient Sanskrit text, which defined the zodiac as connected to the solstices and equinoxes and not to the constellations. The constellations are the nakshatras, which is something else. So the stage is yours, Karine. I'm always excited. We're going to timestamp this, and I hope you connect with as many people as possible, because you're amazing astrologer, and I want you more often here, because you have knowledge that is unique, that is very different. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much for these kind words. Yes, I hope to be here more. So like Lada said, I use tropical zodiac and the whole sign house system. And I also apply Vedic astrology's techniques in all my readings. So please don't use any unequal house system for this reading. And just like what Lada mentioned earlier, you can check from your moon sign and also your rising sign, because the rising sign, the birth time, is your announcements that your arrival in this world, and your outer karmas and also experiences will manifest in your natal chart. But from your moon sign, it's more from your emotional level. So you will you'll also feel the connection with your moon a lot. So let me just share the screen. So the first one is Aries. For Aries, Jupiter will transit your second house. And second house is to do with money, accumulated wealth, and personal resources and values. And Jupiter brings opportunities to boost and secure your financial situation. So for Jupiter, it's very interesting because Jupiter always brings opportunities, where Saturn is actually the planet that brings concrete, lasting results. So opportunities is just like waves. If you like surfing, it's just like waves. And when you see a good wave, you ride it out. Otherwise, the opportunities just pass you by. So it's very important for you to spot these opportunities. And for Aries, this will be in your second house. And Jupiter will bring opportunities to boost and secure your financial situation. It brings opportunities for gaining more money. So financial improvements, investment improvements is possible under this influence. But because Saturn is actually transiting your 12th house at the moment, and aspecting, like looking at your second house. So there will be opportunities for you to build your wealth, but you will still have to work hard for it. And particularly for Aries moon, because moon shows the consciousness, Jupiter transit the second house from the moon because the second house supports the first house. So if you're Aries moon looking at this video, you'll feel more secure and supported because there's a sense of security coming from inside, and you feel more prosperous, and you feel like whenever you need, there will be resources available for you. And resources is not just about money. It could be benefactors, people, friends, or opportunities, skills, or talents. These things will be available for you to utilize and to help you to approach your goals. And for Aries rising, Aries moon, if there's no big improvements of your money situation, you will still feel safe and secure with your money situation. And Jupiter is the significator of higher wisdom, the teacher. So it will also help you to see the bigger picture of your financial situation. It will make you better manage your assets, your investments and material possessions, and also your decision making when it comes to money. For Aries rising, Jupiter is ruling your 12th house and transiting your second house. And 12th house is associated with expenses, spending. So you'll earn a lot of money. You'll have an opportunity to earn money, but at the same time, you'll also spend money too. On a positive note, you could spend money on possessions, valuable goods, or invest in something that will bring you more value in the future. For example, like gold, silver, antique, art, knowledge, and so on. But still pay attention to your expenses, and you might feel too confident in your money situation and end up spending more. And second house also rules values, like your moral values or maybe material values. So if your values are more like non-materialistic, you can also have tremendous growth in those areas. Jupiter transit the second house is looking at aspecting the sixth house that you can see from this graph. And it will help you, it will make you busy with your work because sixth house rules work. And you might be required to have more work responsibilities or work long hours. But at the same time, because Jupiter is also aspecting, like looking at the 10th house. So the more work that you put in your job, the more that you'll get noticed. And also you'll get appreciated with your efforts. And this will also enhance your financial situation. And Jupiter transit in the second house is looking at, like I said, 6, 10, and second house, 10th house, and the sixth house. These three houses, they are the houses in Vedic astrology system. That means they are earth houses. So for the next 12 months, this is a very good time for you to focus on your wealth and also build up this material foundation. Now, for Taurus rising, Jupiter will transit your first house. When Jupiter transits the first house is very important because in Vedic astrology, whenever a planet crosses your ascendant and goes retrogrades, that makes this planet is extremely important, especially its transit. So that's why Saturn and Jupiter, they're always very important when they transit in your first house, because they always goes retrograde when they transit one sign. And when people have Jupiter transit the first house, the major experience that they're going to have is expansion and growth. Expansion can be manifest in 3 different ways: your money situations, your wisdom, because Jupiter is to do with learning, and happiness. Jupiter is a significator of happiness, wisdom, and money, these 3 different areas. So the experiences that you're going to have during these transits are not necessarily exclusive to one another. You can actually experience all 3 areas, and usually you experience 3. When Jupiter transits the first house, Jupiter brings opportunities to improve your money situation. Perhaps you start making money for the first time, or you finally start breaking even if you have your own business, or making more money with your projects. And during these transits, you're starting to see some improvements in your money situation. And also, when you start to have a little bit of money, it actually gives you the freedom to do the things that you want. You have this capacity to create more and to provide better service if you are in the service industry. Or it also gives you the capacity to explore the world. So perhaps you can take a course, or maybe learn new things, or maybe travel to different places to expand your vision. So having a little bit financial blessing gives you this freedom to expand your horizons. And in Vedic astrology's technique, Jupiter gets directional strength when it's in first house in your natal chart. So when Jupiter transits the first house, Jupiter is actually very comfortable transiting in the first house. It would definitely bring positive influence to the relationship that you have with your immediate environment. So every aspect of your life, you will feel these improvements. You'll feel life is easier and more enjoyable. And it will also open you out to all the possibilities in life, and you feel more positive and optimistic about your future. And learning will be a big part of this transit because, like I said, Jupiter gets directional strength in the first house. So natally, if you have Jupiter sits in your first house, your whole life is about learning. You love to learn. So when Jupiter transits in the first house, you will also be inspired to learn things. And Jupiter also rules beliefs and truth. So when Jupiter transits the first house, it always tests our beliefs. Your beliefs about money, beliefs about happiness, especially Jupiter is a significator of happiness, money, and wisdom. So this transit will prompt you to look within your relationship between money and happiness, and leading you to a deeper reflection on those topics. And first house also rules the body. So when Jupiter transits the first house, Jupiter brings more prana, like life force, to the body. So you will feel good about your physical energy and health. And Jupiter will also increase your self-confidence, how you feel about yourself, how you envision your future. And you become more, like I said, more positive and more optimistic about the path you're on. When Jupiter transits the first house, there'll also be opportunities for new career. Like there might be some opportunities present themselves. And if you've been trying to start some projects, but having some difficulties, now is a good time because you will feel more confidence in your life path and in the things that you want to do. And this is also a good time for business development. So overall, Jupiter transit will open up possibilities and opportunities related to travel, to work, education, wisdom, or learning. And Jupiter will bring new beginnings to your life. And you can expect to travel more during this transit, especially first house is the action house. So you can travel more, whether it's through reading books, or by exploring different areas, cultures, traveling around the world. And if you do travel, Jupiter will also protect you because Jupiter transit the first house is looking at the ninth house, your long distance travel. So Jupiter will protect you when you travel. Now on to Gemini. For Gemini rising, Gemini moon, Jupiter will move through your 12th house. So it's very different from Taurus. Taurus is your first house. And for Gemini, this is your last house. 12th house is another important house in Vedic astrology's technique. Any planets transit the 12th house is huge. When the planets, like I said, transit the first house, it's like the beginning. You start to learn more about these planets, especially Jupiter is about truth and knowledge. And you start this cycle learning about the things that Jupiter rules. And 12th house is considered a completion, the end of the cycle. It's a house of accumulation of all the previous experiences that you have with these planets. And 12th house is also a composite of all the other houses. So when the planets transits in the 12th house, this is when we receive the final gift related to the things that the planets rule. For example, like for Jupiter, Jupiter rules money, wisdom, knowledge, spirituality, religion, children, gurus, travels, and husband, especially for women, because Jupiter signifies the husband in Vedic astrology. So you will also have the topic that related to husband when it transits the 12th house. So you can receive actual blessing from these planets in relation to those topics that I mentioned, or it can be manifest in the form of realization, like aha moments. For example, realizing that you may not, maybe you have some kind of false belief about money, or maybe it can in the form of like a wake-up call, or you finally are able to let go of some of the obsessions in regards to these planets. And this transit, but ultimately this transit will lead you to a final resolution with the planets in any shape or form, whether it's a good one, whether it's a negative one, but there's no negative. It's just to do with your self-realization in regards to this planet. It's a completion of all the experiences that you have had with Jupiter in the last 11 years. So you're consolidating and finishing up the lessons with Jupiter during this transit. So this is huge. So topics like I said, like kids, children, money, spirituality, spiritual awakening, self-realization, or with your teachers, with a course, or with your husband will be highlighted during this transit. And you will also experience events where you are willingly or unwillingly finish the business related to the planets. So like I said, this is the process to prepare you for the brand new beginning of Jupiter's cycle next year. So it's very important for Gemini rising and Gemini moon. Now, if you're more spiritual inclined, you can experience tremendous inner growth, because 12th house is a moksha house. So it's a house of liberation. It's not so much about the outer material manifestation. You will also have that, but it's more important, it's your inner growth. And also when Jupiter transit the 12th house, Jupiter is aspecting 4th house and 8th house. 4th house relates to your inner private world, your emotional well-being, and 8th house is to do with your healing and transformation. So that's why you can have a lot, like a deeper understanding of your spiritual process or your inner work, and you will make progress in your spiritual development during this transit. And Jupiter will also expand your interest in learning about spirituality, the esoteric studies, symbolism, dream world, and the visible world. And you will also get tremendous benefits from learning those topics, because Jupiter transit the 12th house is aspecting, is looking at 8th house, house of occult study, the hidden knowledge. And you don't get a better time than this time to delve into those topics. So if you're interested in that, this is a good time for Gemini rising and Gemini moon. On the more practical level, 12th house rules traveling to distant lands, retreat sanctuary. So you might be inspired to travel to a faraway place, an island, tropical island, esoteric, like they're very exotic place, a secluded place, or ashram, or maybe somewhere far away just from your birthplace. And you might even travel for work because Jupiter is ruling your 10th house and transiting in the 12th house. So business purpose, business trips are also possible. Work-wise, the transits can be particularly supportive for people who work behind the scenes, or people who spend long hours working alone in the fields such as like reading, writing, editing, producing content, or research. And it's good for people who work in creative and artistic fields, because during this transit, Jupiter will boost your intuition and imagination. And if your work is involved with studying of some sorts, or if you're students, this transit will also give you this ability to study quietly and concentrate, and you'll be able to get a deeper understanding of what you study and what you read. 12th house is also about letting go, surrendering, and finishing up things, like I said, with these planets. So it's possible that you decide not to continue certain subjects or research projects. Like I said, you might finish a business. You will finish the business with the things that Jupiter rules. So you might finish a course of study, drop a course, or end a relationship with a teacher, or maybe a project, or with your mentor. 12th house also rules expenses and losses, and Jupiter will expand your expenses during this transit. And you might encounter events where you are suddenly forced to spend some money because Jupiter is aspecting the 8th house. 8th house rules on the sudden unexpected events. So you might spend money on health, maybe, because Jupiter is also looking at 6th house. It doesn't mean you're gonna get sick or whatsoever. Maybe you just need a checkup or something like that. But overall, for Gemini rising and Gemini moon, this is a very supportive time for your inner growth and healing. So try to make the most of it. And it might be not so powerful on the material manifestation, but it is a good time for your spiritual development. Now for Cancer rising, Cancer moon, Jupiter will transit your 11th house. And 11th house is associated with gains, recognition, titles, and trophies. It rules friends circles, network circles, community, marketplace, long-term dreams and goals. It rules our elder siblings. And Jupiter is considered very lucky and supportive when it transits 11th house, because 11th house is the second from 10th. So this is where you start reaping rewards from the work you do or the deeds that you do in the world. Maybe it's a contribution to the society. So for Cancer rising and Cancer moon, you can expect some rewards, titles, recognition from the work that you do. Business success is also possible, and financial gains. And this is also a good time for you to negotiate a pay rise or maybe a higher package if you're looking for a new job. 11th house rules friends and network circles. So Jupiter transit in the 11th house would definitely widen your social network circles. You'll be able to make friends from different backgrounds and cultures. And you will also be open to those people as well. And this is a very beneficial time to expand your audience if your work is more in the public, and maybe social influencer or YouTuber. This is a good time for you to expand your audience. And if you are in the business field, your clientele, and meet interesting people who might open up new possibilities and opportunities for you. And it's important to not stay at home and isolate yourself during this transit for the next 12 months. And when Jupiter transit 11th house, you will bring opportunities to increase your gains during this transit, particularly financial rewards from your career. Like I said, because this is second from 10th. So you can expect gains from marketplace if you run your own business, or you can get support from your network circles, your friends, your benefactors, or even elder siblings. 11th house is associated with source of income. So for the next 12 months, this is also a good time to explore new sources of income, especially if you're working a 9-to-5 job. You can look into something that you can do on the side, and then it will generate long-term profits. Or if it's a short-term project, that's okay too, as long as it has this potential to bring in profit. Just go for it. If you can find out or explore some new source of income, it's good. And overall, this is a very lucky period to earn more money for Cancer rising and Cancer moon. 11th house also rules our achievement, long-term dreams. So when Jupiter transits 11th house, it brings opportunities to help you approach your goals closer, whether it's your professional goals, your financial achievements, material goals. But because Saturn at the same time is transiting your 9th house, aspecting 11th house, so you will still need to work hard for it. There might be some delays as well, but yeah, you will still get the opportunity to go closer to your goals. When Jupiter transit 11th house is aspecting, like looking at 3rd house, 7th house, all the karma houses are activated. Karma houses, that means they are social houses, house of desires. So the 3rd house rules the business activities, communication, sales skills, and your presentation skills. So during these transits for the next 12 months, you'll find that your communication skills improve and you're able to impress people with your words. So there will be opportunities for short distance travels and networking with influential people in your industry. And again, this is a perfect time to focus on networking, making connections, expanding your business activities. And at the same time, Jupiter is also aspecting the 7th house, your partnerships and collaborations. So it will also bring more opportunities for you to work with others, both on personal level and professional level. And it's a good time to seek out mutually beneficial relationship and partnership that can help you achieve your goals. Remember, 11th house is about achieving your goals. And then you have all the social houses, karma houses are activated. So it's important for you to put yourself out there, making connections, building relationships. So make the best of it. For Leo rising and Leo moon, Jupiter will move into your 10th house. And when Jupiter transits the 10th house, it's great for your career development, your work environments, social status, and reputation. And there will be more opportunities and doors open for you in regards to your career advancement. 10th house is an angular house, so it's an action house. So Jupiter transits in the 10th house. Jupiter will also bring luck and blessings in the actions that you take in regards to your professional path, your goals and ambitions in life. When Jupiter transits the 10th house, you will see new ways to expand your career, new ways to expand your business structure and social image. And the inspiration comes from inside. It's not coming from outside, but it's like coming from inside. And like you have this epiphany, aha moments, and have some really good creative ideas to help you to move forward from your current situation. 10th house also rules our bosses, supervisors, and people with power. So during this transit, you may find them standing behind you, backing you all the way, and perhaps even bringing you rewards, such as like a recognition for your work or opportunities for you to shine. Jupiter transit in the 10th house will also bring you expansive opportunities in your professional field. Like I mentioned in the beginning, opportunities are like waves, like when you're surfing. When you see the opportunities, don't forget to grab it and the opportunities for Leo rising and Leo moon will be manifest in regards to your professional field. And sometimes it can bring you the opportunities. It's like it gives you the whole new department or a whole new phase of your professional life. It might just open up in front of you, which is what you have desired for some time. So it could be a promotion, it could be a new position, it could be a new territory, but it's going to demand extra work and responsibilities from you, perhaps more than you can bargain, perhaps more than you bargain for, because Jupiter gives many in the house that it's in. So it gives more responsibilities, it gives more workload. And Jupiter is a bloating energy. So you might overexpend, or you might overpromise too much, and you have to pull back later in life. So it's very important when you see all those opportunities in front of you, you still stay grounded, practical, and avoid overpromising. Otherwise, there will be some consequences that you have to pull back later in life. Jupiter is a significator of education, knowledge, and foreign matters, foreign travels. So when it's in the 10th house, the highest position of the chart, and also it's an action house, you can expect more opportunities for travels, learning, or even sharing your knowledge. Even though if you're not a teacher, maybe people just ask you to share your ideas, shares your mind. Jupiter transit the 10th house is aspecting 2nd, 4th, and 6th house. So all the Alpha houses, 2nd, 6th, and 10th, they are all Alpha houses, like Earth houses. So for the next 12 months time, it's a good time for you to build up your material foundation, because 2nd house rules your finances and resources, material possessions. So for the next 12 months, you can expect more resources available for you to utilize and help you to get closer to your goals, whether it's financial goals or professional goals. And Jupiter aspecting the 4th house, so it will also bring positive developments in your domestic environments, in your home, or maybe to your family. And you might be inspired to make some changes in your home, like upgrading a couch or fridge, or maybe wallpaper, or maybe refurbishing your home, something like that, or maybe moving to a bigger house, or moving to a place that's more harmonious to your energy. Overall, you can expect like improvements in your living conditions for the next 12 months, and it will bring you more joy and happiness, because Jupiter is the significator of higher fulfillment. And Jupiter aspecting the 6th house, it will make you really busy, and you will increase your workload, and your daily schedule will be busier. And during this transits, Jupiter will also increase your service to other people. So if you're in a professional field that provides service like healing or health related, your customers and clientele will increase under this influence. And it will also amplify your profits. So this is a very good time for Leo to really work on your professional field and work on your material foundation. For Virgo rising, Virgo moon, Jupiter will move through your 9th house. 9th house is one of the most auspicious houses in Vedic astrology. It rules our outlook on life, our higher wisdom, higher education, religion, philosophy, gurus, teachers, higher learning, foreign travels, and cultures. And 9th house is actually Jupiter's house. So Jupiter feels really comfortable transiting in the 9th house. And when Jupiter transits the 9th house, it's aspecting 1st house and 5th house. 5th house is another lucky house, like most fortunate house in Vedic astrology. The past life good karmas. So definitely you'll feel like, definitely Jupiter will reduce difficulties and hardship in life for you. And you will make your life easier and more enjoyable for the next 12 months. And Jupiter transit the 9th house will take you into a higher learning. If you happen to be undertaking any sort of higher education, this is a very ideal time. You gain confidence and support from your teachers, lecturers, and tutors, and you gain success in your learning. Or if you plan to undertake any sort of diploma or degree, this is also a very good time. And even if you're not actively pursuing any higher education, Jupiter transit the 9th house is aspecting the 3rd house, looking at the opposite house. So it will still expose you to new ideas and concepts, and it will inspire you to learn new things. So for Virgo rising and Virgo moon, this is a powerful learning year for you, especially for Virgo rising. Virgo loves to learn because they are ruled by Mercury. So they love knowledge, and this is a great time to learn. And there will be opportunities to expand your horizons on every level. It could be through spiritual practices, through religious activities, exploring different areas and cultures, or travels, or even engaging in humanitarian activities. The transit offers opportunities for Virgo rising and Virgo moon for personal growth, as well as your intellectual expansion. Jupiter transit the 9th house will bring opportunities for foreign travels. But because Jupiter transit the 9th house is also looking at the opposite house, the 3rd house. 3rd house is the short distance travels. So there will also be short distance travel as well as your long distance travel. So you might also travel to your neighboring countries or within your own country. You may find yourself spending a lot of time on the move, and Jupiter transit the 9th house will also protect your travel. If your work is involved in international business, or if your work involves interacting with foreigners or people from different backgrounds or different cultures, or if you're engaged in import-export activities, or any type of international trade, this transit will be very favorable for your business endeavors. Overall, for Virgo rising and Virgo moon, your outlook on life becomes more positive and optimistic. And I think this is very important because Virgo tend to be overthinking sometimes. So when you have Jupiter transits 9th house, also looking at the 1st house and also looking at the 5th house, all the trinal houses, house of blessings are activated. Basically, you'll feel more positive about yourself, about your path. Now, for Libra rising, Libra moon, Jupiter will move through your 8th house. 8th house rules other people's money, other people's resources, your spouse's money, business partner's money, joint resources with your spouse or with your business partner. It rules mutual assets. It also rules the money that you get from the service that you provide. So when Jupiter moves through the 8th house, it can increase your spouse's financial situation. Perhaps some positive developments to your spouse's money situation, or maybe your spouse wins a lottery or make more money from their investments. And if you're in a relationship or any contractual partnership, for example, you got married in the previous 12 months' time. So now you're in a contractual relationship with your romantic partner, or if you have taken your relationship to the next level. When Jupiter transit 8th house for the next 12 months' time, you can benefit from your partner's resources or financial support. And if it's a business partnership, they could bring in more business opportunities, maybe bring in more clients, or maybe they provide you their channel or base, or their resources, their skills, talents, and platform for you to utilize. So in a way, you also benefit from that. And basically for Libra rising and Libra moon, you can rely on other people's help, materially, financially, and emotionally during this transit, because the 8th house is also to do with your emotion. And if you happen to have some kind of investments, you can make money from your investments, because Jupiter transit the 8th house is aspecting, looking at the opposite house, your savings, your accumulated wealth. And also that's your investments. 8th house also rules the money that you get from the service that you provide. So if you work in commission-based job, or if your income relies on people purchasing your products, your service, it could go really well. But in a way, it also means that you can have more workload, because if you work on like commission-based, that means you need to have more clients in order to have more money. So it's a good thing. And during this transits, you can also expect some financial returns. For example, like people, if they owe you money, they pay you back for the next 12 months, or tax return or insurance claim. Or if you want to apply for a loan or financial support, this is also a good time, because like loans and financial supports from the governments, that's also other people's money. And some of you might even deal with wills and inheritance during this transit, because the 8th house is associated with those topics. 8th house also rules transformation and changes, unexpected changes, sudden changes. And Jupiter is ruling your 3rd house and 6th house, transiting in the 8th house. 3rd house rules communication and business activities. 6th house rules your work. So you might need to go through some changes in your work situation, or maybe your business structure, or maybe how you run your business, or maybe how you do your work. And maybe it's to do with your daily work, the balance between your work and also your health. You might need to go through some changes, unexpected changes, and for the next 12 months. Another thing I like you to pay attention to is that 8th house rules unexpected changes and emergency situations. And Jupiter usually gives many in the house that it's in. So watch out for some emergency situations during this transit. It doesn't mean you're going to have accidents or bad things are going to happen. It just means sometimes there might be some sudden events that grab your attention that you need to solve. 12th house, Jupiter transit the 8th house is looking at the 12th house. 12th house rules secluded place, working behind the scenes, and also working long hours and deep research. 8th house is to do with astrology, hidden knowledge, the esoteric, and deep mysteries of life. So for the next 12 months, Jupiter will also inspire you to learn more about these topics and expand your knowledge in regards to those areas. If you are someone who does astrology, tarot, or psychology, or any areas that related to life and death, or transformation, or healing, this is an excellent time for researching and increasing your knowledge for the next 12 months. For Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, Jupiter will transit your 7th house. 7th house is a very important house for Jupiter in Vedic astrology, because in Vedic astrology, each planet has its own significator house. And for Jupiter, Jupiter's key house is the 7th house. The reason being is because Jupiter is a planet of expansion and growth, and 7th house is a house of partnerships and relationships. So Jupiter's power is amplified when we co-create with other people. So that's why when Jupiter is in the 7th house, it brings someone into your life, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a business partnership. It will bring more opportunity for you to work with other people, because with other people, you co-create more than one individual can do. So whether it's co-creating a baby together, or a business empire, or business ideas, or anything that can be shared with the public. So that's why Jupiter's transit the 7th house is very important. It's like Jupiter's cycle starts. Jupiter transit in the 1st house, it's different because we start learning more about these planets. But Jupiter transit the 7th house because that's its key house. So that's Jupiter's cycle of co-creating, cycle of co-creation. So it's a little bit different. And 7th house rules our most significant one-on-one relationships. And this includes our romantic partner, spouse, or any close business partnerships. It also represents contracts that we sign. And when Jupiter transit the 7th house for Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, this can bring benevolent partners in your life. And this partnership that you form for the next 12 months will be more long lasting, because remember, you're here to co-create something together. And it means if you're single, you can meet someone during this transit as well. I didn't talk about Rahu, the north node of the moon, in this video, but for Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, when Jupiter enters your 7th house, Jupiter will join Rahu together in your 7th house. And Rahu has been in your 7th house since January 2022. And you will leave your 7th house on 18th of July, depending where you are. So 18th or 17th of July. So during 16th of May or 17th of May until 18th of July, this 2 months time, Jupiter and Rahu will be in your 7th house together. And why is this important is because Jupiter is unpredictable. Sorry, Rahu is unpredictable, chaotic, unconventional energy. So if you're more of a traditional person when it comes to relationship, Rahu and Jupiter together in the 7th house, it might create some difficulty for you to make or create a genuine connection with another person. Or maybe you'll meet someone who is very unconventional to your taste. So it's best to wait until Rahu leaves your 7th house, which is 18th of July. And this is the same if you are trying to form a business relationship with someone. Pay attention to all the details in signing contracts or documents. Make sure that you understand everything that you get yourself into during this 2 months time. It can be chaotic, it can be unconventional, unpredictable. So just be cautious. Other than that, Jupiter transit the 7th house, your negotiation skill will improve, because Jupiter transit the 7th house is aspecting, looking at the 3rd house, house of communication. So you're able to articulate more effectively, smoothly. And it will be also very supportive if you're in business or trading or building partnership with the others, because communication is very important. And also your skill to make things happen, to arrange things, schedule things. And if you are self-employed, you can also come up with some really good ideas and create growth in your work, in your business. Because remember, and also you will have more opportunities to collaborate with other people. Because like I said, Jupiter is amplified when it's in 7th house, because that's its destiny, to create more with other people. So your interaction with others will increase, and it will Jupiter will also bring more opportunities for you to collaborate with other people. And it brings long-term and beneficial working relationships, because for the 7th house, Jupiter transit in the 7th house, it's about creating something that you can leave behind. So it's not a short-term thing. And also because Jupiter transit the 7th house is looking at 11th house. 11th house is a long-term goal. So it's not going to be short. Contracts, agreements, business deals, legal matters will go well under this influence for the next 12 months. But just pay attention to the details and also the documents between the month May and July. Like I said, because Jupiter and Rahu, they will be in the same sign, in the same house. We're using whole sign house system. Don't use any unequal house system here. So for the next 12 months time, for Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, you will see growth in your clientele, your allies and business under this influence. For Sagittarius rising and Sagittarius moon, Jupiter will move through your 6th house. Jupiter, 6th house rules work. It uncovers what kind of work that you do. So it doesn't mean it's your vocation. It's not your career path, but it's more about your work situations that you're in, and also the service that you do towards other people. 6th house also rules health and daily routines and activities. And when Jupiter transits 6th house, you might start doing something expensive, like something big with your job, which is good. Especially Jupiter transit the 6th house is looking at the 10th house and 2nd house. So all the earth houses are activated, which means when you do something expensive, when you do something big with your work, the more work that you put in, the higher you can elevate your reputation, your social image. And at the same time, it will increase your income and financial situation. So it's a win-win situation, even though there might be a lot of work and very busy, but you get the positive results. And Jupiter usually gives money when it transits in the house. So 6th house rules the work. So that means the workload, work responsibilities will be increased, and your daily routines will become very, very busy, and it can potentially create some high level of stress and competition. I'm not saying that you're going to create competition with the other people, but maybe other people, they will, because you're going to do something big and expensive. So other people, they might have this mentality of competition with you. And 6th house is Virgo's house. So it's a house of details and nitty-gritty stuff. So there might be more work that requires attention to details, making sure everything runs smoothly. And there might be a lot of organizing, checking faults, and also editing. So a lot of small details. And if you're looking for a new job, Jupiter transit the 6th house can help you to find a job that you feel more comfortable in, a job that you feel more suitable for. And for Sagittarius rising and Sagittarius, for Sagittarius rising particularly, if your Jupiter is very strong in the charts, you will see progress in your work situations. And if you're looking for like professional advancement, you will be able to find opportunities to succeed under this influence. On another note, 6th house actually rules more difficult things in life, like disagreements, broken promises, competition, arguments, conflicts, accusation, litigation. Any imbalanced situations are ruled by the 6th house. So when Jupiter transits in the 6th house, it can amplify those qualities and situations. So you can expect quite a lot going on. There might be different factors coming up at the same time, like suddenly, and it needs you to resolve those situations. So it can feel like there are a lot of like endless problems to solve and endless situations and conflicts for you. And you might even get sick because of this level of stress. So pay attention to your health. Your busy daily schedule and the level of stress can make you vulnerable to illness. So watch out your stress level. And also pay attention to your eating, because Jupiter transit the 6th house is looking at the 2nd house, the food that we put into our mouth, the food intake. And 6th house is to do with gut, digestive system. So watch out overeating, watch out comfort eating, any eating habits, overindulgence in certain foods. And also pay attention to any kind of habits that can cause problems for your health. But overall, for Sagittarius rising and Sagittarius moon, because 6th house rules wellness and health conditions. So if you have a strong Jupiter in the charts, you will become more proactive, developing a positive health routines. For example, you might start a yoga class or maybe health program or use gym more regularly. You will try your best to elevate your health for the next 12 months, which is a good thing. And try to find a balance between your work and your personal life, because that's also to do with health. For Capricorn rising, Jupiter will move through your fifth house. Fifth house is one of the most fortunate house in Vedic astrology. It's a house of past life good karmas. It rules intelligence, creativity, children, romance, fun, and pleasure in life. And so, like I said, in Vedic astrology, each planet has this significant house. For example, Jupiter's key house is the seventh house, because seventh house is the house of partnerships and relationship. And Jupiter is a planet of expansion and growth. So Jupiter feels really, really good and does really, really good when it's in the seventh house, because it brings someone into your life and you're co-creating something together. And fifth house is 11th from the seventh. So it's a gain position. It's an increase position. You can get your reward when Jupiter transits the fifth house. So you might want to think about around 10 years ago, did you start something new, or did you like start doing something more expensive, or start co-creating something with another person? Because when Jupiter transits in the fifth house, you can start reaping your rewards. So it's a very, very nice transit for Capricorn rising and Capricorn moon. Yeah, so whatever you start when Jupiter transit your seventh house 10 years ago, now is an opportunity. Jupiter will bring more opportunities for you to enjoy the things that you start, that you created, or you've been wanting to create. Jupiter transit the fifth house. If you're single, you might meet someone during this transit, because Jupiter signifies the husband in woman's chart in Vedic astrology. So, and if you do meet someone in the next 12 months time, chances are this person will become very important, significant in your life, because they are here to be part of the things that you want to create. Like I said, because Jupiter's key house is the seventh house, and Jupiter wants to help you to create more. So if you do meet someone for the next 12 months time, in the next 12 months time, this person will become very important for your empire. And fifth house also rules children. So pregnancy is also very possible. Especially Jupiter is the significator of children. And fifth house also rules children. So pregnancy is highly possible for Capricorn rising and Capricorn moon to create your family. And fifth house also rules our creative intelligence. You'll feel more free and confident in your creative expression. You become more creative with your ideas, your creation, even your ability to solve problems. Because we human beings, we're here to create, whether if you're in the creative field or artistic professional field, it doesn't matter, because for example, when you're cooking, you're creating. When you're writing something, you're creating. You're writing your presentation, you're creating a presentation and expressing your mind. So we are creating 24/7. So it's very important to tap into your creativity. And for Capricorn rising, naturally, they will feel more, because they are ruled by Saturn. So sometimes they will feel like it's hard for them to just flow with life. But with this transits, you'll feel more flowing and confidence in your creativity. And you also have this ability to think outside of the box. And having said that, if you work in artistic or creative fields for Capricorn rising or Capricorn moon, or maybe you work in entertainment, glamorous based, fashion, beauty, or drama, acting, music, or cultural events, you have lots of creative ideas, and you will also be inspired to create your best work for the next 12 months. And this is a time where you can see your recognition grow if you work in those professional fields, like I said. Fifth house also rules education, particularly for teenagers. So if you're a teacher in high school, or if you are teaching teenagers, or if your work is involved with teenagers or education in any way, like maybe consultants, and if your work will be appreciated during this transit, and your relationship with your students, with your followers, maybe your clients, for example, teenagers, they are your clients, the relationship with them will also be very pleasant. And if you are students, this is a wonderful time to expand your knowledge. And you'll do very well in your education because fifth house rules education as well and learning. And you'll be happy and also inspired with your educational opportunities. And you might even travel overseas for education because Jupiter transit the fifth house is looking at the ninth house, the long distance travel. So you might even travel abroad to study, or maybe taking some international or online courses. If you're not a student, this period will also be very supportive for any kinds of learning, because fifth house rules learning and education. And it's not so much about getting a certificate, but if the end result of your learning is to get a certificate, which is good. But fifth house is not so much about getting a certificate. It's about mastering your interests, because it's a third from third house. Third house rules learning and also skills. And so third from third, you mastering your interests. And Jupiter rules wisdom and knowledge. Fifth house rules fun and pleasure in life. So you get tremendous pleasure and fun through learning wisdom and knowledge under this influence. And fifth house also rules speculation. So Jupiter transit the fifth house is also looking at 11th house, the opposite house, house of increase and gains, money making. So if you have any speculative business, if you work for yourself, if you have any investments, stocks, shares, commodities, you can also see growth in your existing investments. But be cautious when during the months between May and July, because when Jupiter enters your fifth house, it will join Rahu, north node of the moon. And Rahu has been in your fifth house since January 2022, and then it will leave your fifth house on 18th of July. And Rahu is the unpredictable, crazy, unfamiliar energy. So you might be intrigued to invest something new, something you're not familiar with, or something you think it could be a quick gains without proper research. So pay extra attention to investments opportunities, especially if fifth house is to do with the speculative business and speculation, stocks and shares. But overall, when Jupiter transits the fifth house, Jupiter is looking at ninth house and the first house. Ninth house is another house of blessings. So all the trinal houses are activated. Your physical energy will grow, your confidence level will grow, and your outlook on life will be more positive and more in tune with the flow of life. And like I said, for Capricorn rising, this is good because you're ruled by Saturn. So sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to flow with life. So, and Jupiter transit the fifth house would definitely decrease your life by making you more relaxed. And all in all, it's a very favorable time for Capricorn rising and Capricorn moon. For Aquarius rising, Jupiter will move through your fourth house. Fourth house rules home, domestic environments, property, farms, gardens, your family, especially your mother in Vedic astrology, and it rules your home country. Jupiter will bring blessings and opportunities in those topics. For example, if you're looking for a house, or if you're looking for tenants, or if you're looking to expand your home, you'll be able to find the one that you're happy with. And Jupiter is a planet of expansion and growth. So it will inspire you to make some changes in your domestic environments, make some improvements in your domestic environments. For example, you might want to buy some new couch, or refurbishing your home, or even moving home, which is very possible because Jupiter transit the fourth house is looking at the 12th house. 12th house is the overseas place, or a place that's far away from your birthplace. So you might even move abroad, or go into foreign residence, or relocate to a place that's far away from your birthplace. So this is very possible for the next 12 months. And for Aquarius rising, Jupiter is ruling your 2nd and 11th house. So Jupiter is ruling both money houses and transiting the 4th house. That means you can expect some gains from property dealings, or maybe your house is starting to gain more values for the long run, even though you're not selling your house, but maybe your house is gaining more values, or you start gaining more as a landlord, or you may want to buy a house with the long-term intentions. For example, because the 11th house rules the long-term dreams and goals. And one thing you have to be careful is that when Jupiter enters your 4th house on 17th or 16th of May, it will be in the same sign as Rahu, which is your 4th house. We're using whole sign house system here. And Rahu has been in your 4th house since January 2022. And Rahu is a very chaotic, unpredictable energy. So it might confuse you into buying something that may not serve you later in life, especially where we're talking about investments, or if you want to buy a house. So if you want to do some like a big purchase related to home, your domestic environment, you need to wait. It's best to wait until Rahu leaves your 4th house, which is 18th of July. So between May and July, you can do some research, but be very, very mindful and cautious when it comes to investments or making a big purchase or moving home. 4th house rules family and family members, and there can be some good news in the lives of your family members, some positive developments. It could be an expansion of your family. For example, someone gets married or someone has a baby in your family. And if you're in a professional field that's related to 4th house matters, for example, like real estate, property, landscaping, interior design, or any home related business, or if you have a business based in your home, or if you work from home, or something to do with preschooling or nursing home for the elderly people, like caretaking, this transit can be very supportive in those professional fields. When Jupiter transit the 4th house, is looking at the 8th house, house of other people's money. So if you are in business, any sort of business, or maybe you work in commission-based job, or have a long-term investments or property dealing, especially property dealing, because Jupiter rules your 11th and 2nd house. All the 2 houses are in your 4th house. You can expect to see the potential increase in profits during this time. And some of you might even benefit from inheritance and wills, because 8th house is to do with those 2 topics. Jupiter transit the 4th house is also looking at aspecting the opposite house, your 10th house. So you can definitely see some progress in your career. There might be some new possibilities and opportunities in your work environment, or even a more favorable career change in the next 12 months. And on the emotional level, 4th house rules our emotional well-being, your inner world, and your comfort level, how safe you feel in the world. So it rules our private inner world. And during these transits, you will see secure, you'll feel secure in who you are under your skin. And you have this inner security, inner stability, because a lot of good things happening in your home, and home really secure how you feel in the world. So yes, so it's a win-win situation when you have positive things happening in your family or in your domestic environments. It also boosts your moods, and it's a very supportive transit in regards to your psychology. For Pisces rising, Jupiter will move through your 3rd house. 3rd house rules our material process and intellect, and it shows how you approach and analyze problems and how you perceive information. It rules learning process, communication, and 3rd house also rules short distance travels and younger siblings. Third house is actually a very, very busy house amongst the 12 houses because it rules communication, speaking, writing, planning, scheduling, making things happen. And when Jupiter transit the third house, your schedule will become much busier for Pisces rising and Pisces moon. And there might be more communication, conversations, meetings, emailing, planning, arranging things, more paperwork, and maybe even more writing to do. And there will also be opportunities for you to present your ideas and to express your mind. Particularly for Pisces rising, Jupiter is ruling your first house and 10th house and transiting your third house. So the communication, discussion, paperwork, meetings, all the business can be related to your work, coming from your work. Third house also rules business activities. If you work in the business field or if you run your own business, this transit will be very beneficial in various aspects of the business world. For example, like sales, marketing, advertising. And if writing is your career, or maybe if your work is in publications or producing contents on social media, for example, like YouTube or any social media, like YouTuber or social influencer, this transit can also bring a lot of opportunities your way. And third house rules courage and self-effort in Vedic astrology system. So if you're self-employed, this is a good time for your work. There will be more work opportunities. And if you're a sales professional looking to acquire more clients, expand your business, this transit would be also very supportive because Jupiter will improve your communication skills, allowing you to articulate yourself more effectively, persuasively. And this can also help you to convince people to buy your products, your service, or maybe your ideas. Ultimately, it will benefit your business. And when Jupiter transit the third house, this is also a good time for you to start your side projects, your business projects. But because Saturn at the same time is transiting your first house, aspecting, looking at the third house. So the business, the side projects might start off slowly. So for Pisces rising and Pisces moon, you need to be more patient. It's not impossible, but you just need to be more patient with that. And third house rules the mind. And during this transit, it can make your mind restless. And on top of that, because your schedule will be so busy, so it's important for you to decompress from your mind, from your thoughts, from your work, and find a balance in your life. When Jupiter transits the third house, it can have a positive impact on your mind and mental process because the third house is to do with your mental process. And it will also, on the positive notes, it will make you more optimistic and positive in your thinking. And it will also increase your curiosity and interest in learning. And that can be a very supportive for any kind of learning and educational pursuits, whether you're students or not. And there will be more travels because third house rules short distance travels, and Jupiter transit the third house is looking at the ninth house, which is the long distance travels. So you're not just only will have this short distance travel, there will also be long distance travels, and you will find yourself spending more time on the road for the next 12 months. And there could be more business trips because Jupiter is ruling your 10th house and coming to transiting your third house. So there might be more business trips for the next 12 months. So that was a quick view about the opportunities that you can expect in different areas of life for the next 12 months. So like I said, opportunities, they are like waves when you're surfing. When you see a good wave, you grab it and ride it out. Otherwise, if you don't, those opportunities just pass you by. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that. And also my intention for this video is to prepare you to spot those opportunities for the next 12 months.
Thank you so much, Corinne. This was another level. This is the in-depth reading for Jupiter in signs that goes triple level with the aspects. No, four aspects you covered for each sign. Thank you so much. I absolutely love your work. And I can totally, the last sign you did Pisces, because I just went through Jupiter in the 3rd house. So I can totally confirm what you said. I travel long distance. Every weekend I'll be somewhere short distance, a lot of travel. My mind is busy. I'm listening like to 10 audio books at the same time. It's like busy, but it's been fantastic. So it really confirms how accurate your interpretations are. Thank you again. And I love how that you included the which house Jupiter rules, because very few astrologers will do that. And I love your in-depth reading. So if anyone would like to contact Corinne for reading, it will be very in-depth. There are 2 readings that are discounted again. One is about your 12 months transits ahead, and the other one is about your professional career calling or your mission in life. I think you can trust Corinne because I absolutely adore your breadth of knowledge and information that it's not easily available out there. Thank you, Corinne, so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you too. Have a nice, a great next 12 months time, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.